They say he's third cousin to the Kaiser and second cousin to the devil.
I'm afraid I haven't been a very good host, old sport. You see, I'm Gatsby.
Money and happiness. Are they intrinsically entwined? Does having more money really mean you'll be happier? Celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Mark Cuban definitely seem quite content with their life, but when I really put myself in their shoes, I'm not so sure. In different kinds of media, people have framed this question, and it seems to be unanswered still. Was Jordan Belfort happy when he was swimming in it? Or what about the character Jay Gatsby in The Great Gatsby, whose entire personality was built upon his wealth? This episode will be a departure from our usual format. We typically discuss the main characters and movies in depth, comparing them to the actors who portray them. However, this time we'll use the movie The Great Gatsby to try to answer the old age question of, can money buy happiness? The character of Jay Gatsby is a self-made millionaire, provides a unique perspective on this issue as he achieves great wealth, but ultimately finds that it does not bring him the happiness and fulfillment he desires. The Great Gatsby is a film adaptation of the novel of the same name by F. Scott Fitzgerald, released in 2013 and directed by Baz Luhrmann. The movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio as the protagonist, Jay Gatsby, and tells the story of his tumultuous relationship with the narrator, Nick Carraway, and his pursuit of the wealthy young woman, Daisy Buchanan. The film received mixed reviews upon its release, but has since become a popular modern interpretation of the Fitzgerald classic novel. But who is Jay, and why is he such an interesting character? Gatsby is a complex and multifaceted figure who embodies both the promises and the pitfalls of the American dream. On one hand, he's a self-made man who has achieved great wealth and success through his own efforts. He represents the idea that anyone can achieve prosperity and success through hard work and determination. On the other hand, Gatsby's wealth and success are ultimately empty and unfulfilling, as they do not bring him the love and acceptance he desires. His pursuit of Daisy leads to his downfall, and he is ultimately a tragic figure who embodies the futility of the American dream. But maybe the most interesting thing about Jay is the mystery that surrounds him. He is shrouded in secrecy, and much of his past is unknown to the other characters and the reader. This adds to his allure and makes him a compelling and enigmatic figure. So, can money buy you happiness? What would Jay Gatsby say about this question? Given Gatsby's background and pursuit of wealth, it's likely that he would initially argue that money can bring happiness. After all, he has achieved great wealth and success through his own effort and has used his wealth to surround himself with luxury and to throw lavish parties. However, as the story progresses, it becomes clear that Gatsby's wealth and success have not brought him the happiness and fulfillment he desires. Despite his wealth, he is unable to win the love and acceptance of Daisy Buchanan, and his pursuit of her ultimately leads to his downfall. In this way, the story of Gatsby could be seen as a cautionary tale about the limits of money and the dangers of materialism. While it is true that having a certain level of wealth can bring certain benefits and comforts, it's not necessarily the key to happiness. For example, a higher income can provide access to better living conditions, healthcare, and leisure time. However, once our basic needs are met, the positive effects of additional wealth may be offset by the negative effects, such as the stress and demands of maintaining that income. In other words, while money can be important for our well-being, it is not the only factor in determining our happiness. But I can't deny that money plays a significant role in providing the conditions for happiness. In the Western world, things like a high standard of living, good health, and insurance coverage all come at a cost. Think about the parties that Gatsby threw. Many claim not to have even met the host, but because his estate and parties were so outrageous, he was able to portray an image of happiness. This dude would bring hundreds of people to his house every night to get drunk and to have fun, which showed just how much money he had since things like his house, health, and necessities were already covered. People in the West are not faced with the same survival challenges as those in developing countries, where issues such as disease, food insecurity, and dangers from predators are more prevalent. Have you ever heard about Maslow's pyramid? Short psychology class, guys. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's impossible to reach the next level of the pyramid without first meeting the needs of the previous level. For example, according to Maslow, it is impossible to be truly happy without good health. And it's difficult to achieve good health without a sense of security and basic needs being met. The pyramid highlights the importance of addressing our basic needs before we can focus on higher level goals, such as self-actualization. Money can help provide these basic necessities, which in turn contribute to our overall well-being and happiness. In our case, we can say that Jay is pretty much getting all the stages of the pyramid but the last one, which is self-actualization, which is in this case, something money can't help with. While it is true that buying things can provide a short boost of happiness, we tend to quickly become accustomed to them and they lose their novelty over time. On the other hand, the happiness that comes from experiencing new things and making memories tends to increase over time, as we often share these experiences with others and continue to reflect on them fondly. I think Gatsby with his parties was trying to buy memories, and since he threw them so regularly and many of the attendees didn't even know him, he didn't get to experience this long-term happiness. Think about it this way. While a new car at first may be super exciting and bring you a boost of short-term happiness, it eventually just becomes a normal part of our daily lives and it just becomes your car that you drive. Whereas going on a vacation with family or seeing a concert with a friend are things that you may reflect on for years to come, as you're not doing them as frequently. Contrary to popular belief, research has shown that spending money on others or donating to charity can actually bring more happiness than spending it on oneself. This has been demonstrated in studies where people were asked to report their happiness levels before and after receiving an annual bonus. Regardless of the size of the bonus, those who spent the money on others or donated some to charity reported feeling happier than those who spent it on themselves. This may be because giving to others makes us feel good about ourselves and can create a sense of connection and purpose. In the case of Jay Gatsby, we see he tries too much to spend money on Daisy, and that in turn pushes her farther away from him. But I think for Gatsby, he feels he won't be able to experience meaningful moments with Daisy without spending money on it, and her love for him is dependent on his wealth. I also feel like the meaning of the term rich has become more difficult to define in recent times. Does having $1 million make a person wealthy? Maybe to someone with $100K in their bank account, but if you had $100 million in your bank account, would meeting someone who had $1 million make you think that they were rich? We see the comparison game on social media, and it complicates things even further, as people often present a false or idealized version of their lives online. Status is also tied to money, so if you portray yourself as having expensive things, people will think you are more important. I've definitely heard stories of influencers who got rich with some viral hits, blew all their money on luxury cars, and at the end of the day, didn't have enough money to afford rent. So maybe online you look rich, but does that mean you actually are? In the case of Jay Gatsby in The Great Gatsby, his wealth was more straightforward and easy to discern, as he was known for throwing lavish parties and owning a grand mansion. However, in today's world, it is much harder to determine what it means to be truly wealthy. So, do we know if money can buy happiness? Well, no. Honestly, from the perspective of The Great Gatsby, I'd say that it can't, as the biggest thing that Gatsby was chasing the whole film was not the big deal or the fancy item, but the love and affection of a woman from his past. I know this video was a little bit different than our other ones, so please let me know if you like this sort of content. We really do love your feedback and try to answer every single comment, so please let us know your thoughts. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will absolutely see you in the next one.